Alelele mama, amala la lelele. Oh, shake it for Africa, hey, do it for Africa. Mama lelele, oh lelele mama, oh shake it for Africa. Oh, you rise up and stand up for Africa.
See the whole world be looking at us, yeah. 'Cause our land is honey, all the future money, and see now, see Akijima, no, Asilali. Sandy Mali, they want it, yo, they need it, we have it, yes. Let the world come and taste this beautiful land, they want it, oh, they need it, yeah, we have it, let the world come and taste this beautiful land.
To be a part of this continent. Call your sisters and your brothers and your friends. Let's get together, let's hold hands and let us dance. Let's unite and give ourselves another chance. I see the walk out for road, you go see many things, everything the apple pickle the jolly. Oh yeah, now let Africa be good. And in the sun or the rain or the street or the plane, we still they get together. Because let Africa be good. Nelson Mandela, Lupita Nyong'o, Desmond Tutu, oh Barack Obama, Kwame Nkrumah, all my freedom fighters.
You know what time it is? Let's go, come on. Africa stand up, everybody move, make a decision, hands up. We came a long way, so now we can't stop. For life, we're taking off the handcuffs. We came to spread love through the sea breeze. Natural, Mama Africa, we need peace. Home sweet home, everybody will feel free. Check my people and check the beauty. Me, my duty. We're trying to make it a better place for us, and I believe it's gonna happen in God we trust. Straight from the bottom all the way up to top. I prophesy it shall come to pass. Amen. From dust to grass, from grass to grace, but it's left to us to make it happen on a daily basis. Back to back, Africa stand for peace. Let's face the fact.
Asante nyerere baba, tunajivunia upendo wetu na amani. Tena pia Mugabe bendera baba, tunajivunia upendo wetu na amani. Tumejali mengi, kutana mengi, majengo melema mbuga Afrika yetu. Tazama mengi, kutana mengi, mito melema mbuga Afrika yetu.
Good day, my people. Good day to all. Welcome to Miro African Television. If today is your first time of joining Miro African TV, please, I will advise you to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Christmas have passed, but I will still wish you Merry Christmas to those that still celebrate Christmas, and those that are not, I will wish you Happy New Year in advance. You know, today I'm about to discuss or analyze a lot of things that is going on air pertaining the ECO, the new currency that will be established in West African nation by the 2020. I'm an African living in Europe. I've been living in Europe with the Western countries for a very long time. I will also put some words. I do know how they breathe, how their body language works, how they love money, and how money loves them. So what I'm about to discuss today is all about the ECOWAS currency that they just created. Even it came to my notice that Nigerian government that blocked their borders wasn't to harm Africa or West African nations, rather to persuade the French-speaking part of Africa to adopt and ratify the ECO, one currency for West African nation. Men looking at Africa, you will notice that it's only the West African countries that are moving forward so fast to imitate the Western or capitalism in the world. But a lot of people, a lot of countries, many from French-speaking part, English-speaking part, and other speaking part of Africa, mostly West African nation and other African nations, are celebrating that the French-speaking part are about to drop the Franco agreement, the French and their colony in African nations, the agreement that they have that push the French-speaking countries in Africa to keep on using the French-made currency and to bank their reserves in French central bank, to distance themselves from establishing their own central banks. And the same agreement gave the French government the monopoly over the resources of the French-speaking African countries. So now come the ECO. A lot of people are celebrating. A lot of people are jumping up and down, being happy. But am I celebrating? No. Am I happy? Nice idea. What is my take on this ECO of a thing? You know, one thing that I don't normally like where our African people or leaders of Africa are is this silent. You are doing things for your people, but you are still being silent on those things. Are they talking to their citizens? No. Are they explaining the steps, what they are doing for the benefit of the continent? No. Why are they not talking to us? What is going on? We, the African people, the press from the West African nations and from other parts of Africa, are you also asking questions to demand the right answer? Or you too, you are just celebrating, jumping up and down like little children? Do you know the reason why I'm choosing these words? I am not against West Africa setting up their own single currency. The step they took is wonderful and I love it. Let's go back to business. Ask yourself what is going on. What will happen at the end after the establishment of this currency? are we going to come out as the winners of all this establishment? The Franco-African relationship in mining and other resources of Franco first choice of option in anything pertaining French-speaking part of Africa. Have they destroyed or pulled their nation out of that agreement they signed with France after the Second World War? Rushing into things makes me nervous, because when somebody starts talking, explaining their moves, what their plans are, how are we going to break any hand that will try to rise up against our move tomorrow, will make the ordinary citizens to understand where the system is going. France is not a small nation that will just jump around and play around with. Because there are reasons why I am making these points. Have those agreements that these African nations signed with France, have they destroyed it? Because this agreement is giving or making the African nations to pay in per year into the Central Bank of France $440 billion per year. Is it something that French will easily give up? I hope you people are understanding where I'm going to. Most of you will recall the former president of Cote d'Ivoire, Gbagbo. He's now been judged and sentenced to something else in International Court of Justice. Have you heard the real story behind the coup and the game being played in Cote d'Ivoire? Maybe most of you are not familiar to that story. Let me just give you a little hint. Do you know that Cote d'Ivoire are one of the leading countries producing cocoa in Africa? And Gbagbo, the former president of Cote d'Ivoire, was pushing to establish their own central bank, one. He was pushing to pull France out of their cocoa business and start selling their cocoa in international market to make more for the country. What happened to him? He was overthrown and was thrown to International Court of Justice. They judged him. West African nations were there. They find him guilty of one thing or the other, or the concussion of France. That man is serving prison terms. Do you think that French is not involved in this echo of a thing? Because Western world knows the value of money more than the Africa do. You know, Africans may forgive or try to take things light. Western world never follow that path. A country that have been making $440 billion per year from West African speaking countries, West African and French speaking countries. And they just wake up all of a sudden. You want to pull everything out from their mouth. If you succeed, I will say good luck. But in the same, the Niger area of Africa, of West Africa, that's you people do call them Niger, but there is nothing like Niger. If you want to spell Niger, it's different spelling. But the real pronunciation of this country is Niger. The Niger part of West Africa, the Niger country. You know, I'm not calling, because Niger country involve Nigeria, because Nigeria means Niger area. That's, they remove the area and put it, just conquer it with Nigeria. That's Nigeria, Niger area. So The Niger area, because if you pronounce the Niger in German language, the repronunciation is Niger. France are mining uranium concentrate in Niger area of West Africa. And this Niger area of West Africa they are also involved in this echo of ethane. I just want to pinpoint things so that you people will understand why I'm asking these questions. Of if ECO is without France, if this ECO money have do away with French colony ideology and system established there for decades in Africa. The French government are mining uranium concentrate from the Niger area of West Africa, and they are buying it from the federal government of the Niger area at the rate of 60 cents per kilo. Listen to me. The uranium concentrate that the French people are mining from Niger is costing the French government 60 cents per kilo, while in international market, the real value of 1 kilo is $200. Tell me, what will you offer France to drop all these countries for you? If you ask me, I will tell you nothing. Something is going behind the scene. That's why our leaders are not telling us what is going on. They are not talking to us. They are not even allowing us to ask them questions. Because we have to ask questions and wait for the real answer to come out. And if you count the West African nation from Senegal to Guinea, yes, and Guinea, you talk about Côte d'Ivoire, you talk about Mali, you talk about Burkina Faso, you talk about Côte d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin Republic, and Niger. All these countries are under the umbrella of France. What was the agreement? We need to know. And for a nation to establish a moving, healthy economy that will threaten the existence of the Western nations, you know the step to follow. You know something you will use to back it up. Military. France have started for the first time since the French history to use drone in Africa. They have established drone base in Burkina Faso, in Côte d'Ivoire, in Mali, and in Niger. Yes. And they are using their drone to bombard areas in Africa. Whom are they fighting? The same terrorists that they helped to establish. Did they see this thing forthcoming, the establishment of this currency, that pushed them to rush to destroy Libya, to allow terrorists to use the ground of Libya to train and then move down to West African nation? Because Boko Haram are becoming too powerful. And Nigerian government keeps on complaining that the French NGOs are helping to treat the Boko Haram militants that are being wounded during the fight, that the French NGOs are being financed and taken care of, feeding the Boko Haram families. What is going on? And French is increasing their military in their colonial era countries in West Africa. How do you think that this ECO will succeed for the benefit of the ordinary people? And during the time they are negotiating to give up the French printing currency and the French central bank, did ECOWAS also negotiated for France to cancel the agreement they have, France first in any mineral resources being found or already found in their colonial territories in West Africa. We need to start asking questions because we should stop celebrating. We can only celebrate when we start seeing the truth. When our leaders start talking to us, they are leading the people of West Africa. Yes, I know that they have roadmaps, and those roadmaps, they have been accomplished gradually. But the critical part of it is the militarization of West Africa by French and United States and other Western powers. Yes. And the dominance the French has in the mineral resources. Because Africa, we have established unity within ourselves. I mean, West Africa established one passport, free trade agreement, and open borders within our countries. What are we doing in terms of market route? Who is policing the market route of West Africa? The shipment we are shipping through the sea, do we have the marine to defend and open whenever blockade try to be established? Are we growing militarily the way ECOWAS military was established before? Are they being well formed? What are we doing to defend the good dream? Because you can never ever succeed. Look at Russia. Russia's economy is growing, but the West are still fighting with sanction, with military threat, everything to destroy the economy of those countries. Likewise, the Iranians. Likewise, even the big Chinese. Chinese are building up their military, building it to the extent only to defend their development. West Africa, are we developing for Europe to give us military defense? Who is going to finance it? Are we going to be independent on the military affairs of West Africa? And can we still push France and other Western nations out of West Africa and let ECOWAS take care of the matters in Boko Haram area and other parts of West African nations? The Mali government are more relied to the French military than the ECOWAS military. All these things are things that we should be asking, because they are among the structures that make up economic free trade zone. There will be military, there will be strong agreement, strong alliance. No nation within the West African nation will go out of their group to negotiate private enterprises with any foreign countries without the blue ink of ECOWAS. Are they loyal to this thing they are trying to form? Or France is also working behind the scene to secure and dominate what they have been dreaming of in West Africa? All these questions is things that we should be asking and be demanding the right answer to come out of Africa. A lot of people are celebrating, but I'm not celebrating yet. A lot of people are happy. I am not yet happy, because I need our leaders to come out to create a zone where they will be interacting with the people they are ruling over. They are not God, rather they are our servants. Any decision, any agreement, any negotiation, all these things that Europeans are doing today, they are discussing it with their people, making it open. The ECOWAS has a website where their citizens can go and read out all the agreement, all the negotiation they have with France. Because if you think that you can easily do away with French, you are kidding. You are joking. And we living with them knows how they behave, knows how they operate. Either they destroy the West Africa through proxy, or West Africa destroy the tunnel that French have established in West Africa. One of these things must happen. And the leaders of West African nations, you have well-learned people negotiating on your behalf. Make those negotiations or the agreement, everything, make it open, where ordinary people will go and read, understand, know where they are going or where they are taking us to. Anyone we don't like, we start crying, we start shouting. Like when Ghana and America signed an agreement for US to establish military base in Ghana. Somebody leaked those agreements and everybody starts shouting. They suspend it for now, or start sharing military base with Ghanaians. Likewise, the return of the blacks from United States. A lot of people are happy. Let me just jump a little into that thing. A lot of people are happy, jumping up and down, that the blacks from United States are now coming back to Africa and to settle, to stay. But I will just give you a hint. Go and read the history. How America took over Hawaii. You know the state of Hawaii of United States. Go and read how they were taken over. How that place become American territory. Through tourism, through relocation, and the people never knew that the people that are coming back, all of them are military men. Before you know it, they overrun the men people, the indigenous people, and they annex that territory. So I am not against that the blacks are now moving back to their ancient region, but let our leaders start talking to us to avoid conflict tomorrow. Create a platform where the West African leaders will be talking, getting direct contact with the West African citizens. Stop doing things like the colonial masters. Do your thing on the ground, impose it on the people. We want to see the agreement that the West African nations have with France. We want to see what made France to give up their Francophone agreement. We want to see the agreement they have with the mining and the mineral resources of French-speaking part of Africa. Let those things be open so that we should know where we are going to. Because if you don't talk to your people, West Africa, somebody else will talk on your behalf. And whosoever that don't like the agreement that or the movement or the way the West Africans are going, when they start using their NGOs to talk on your behalf, West Africa will burn like fire. But when West African leaders start talking like Putin do have marathon discussion with the press of the nation. They ask him questions. They highlight a lot of things and they demand the right answer from their president. Such things should be established in West Africa. Let our leaders create a platform where all of them or their representatives, press secretaries, sit down, open a channel where the citizens of West Africa will be asking their leaders questions. Because the French-speaking part of West Africa is larger than the English-speaking part. Which agreement we are made that made France to hands up in West African nation? And the French knows that if West Africa succeed, it's going to be a domino in other French-speaking part of Africa. Something is wrong somewhere. Something is not working the way it's supposed to go. Somebody is lying to someone. And I do hate when somebody play with my brain. You guys may be jumping up and down. I am here to demand the right answer from the African leaders. Please come out, or you come to the comment side, write the comment, or you open a channel, build a website, go there, send the people, the citizens of West Africa, go over here and read for yourself. So that we will have something we will hold accountable. When something starts moving astray, we can be able to hold these leaders that wrote or signed this agreement accountable of all these things. We shouldn't be the children that they'll be carrying at the back and having sex with the mother. We are adults, men, calibers, learned people should stand up to demand right answer, right clarification from our leaders. Leave this polished press statement. You may come out and call French whatever you like. You may come out on air to tell French whatever you like. What I want to see is those handwriting that is too tiny to read. Because when you want to sign any contract with any government or any organization or any company, you don't rush to read those words that are being written bold. What you will try to figure out, use your lens to read those words that are being written tiny. There is where the real meaning of every contract you are signing lies. I am not demanding the big picture. I am demanding the small letters in the agreement that the West Africans are signing with French. Those tiny words, please bring it out. Let us read for ourselves and choose if it's okay with us or not. So that's why I'm doing this video. And I just want to make it short. 30 minutes, but it's now 31. It's not a problem. I'm not against West African development. Rather, I want to figure out if I am really becoming independent of these colonial powers, or we are being fooled into a new colonization of a thing while selling to us that they have fight for our freedom. Because the people that are ruling Africa, most of them are over 60 years. And all of them are the object of the colonial era. We need the young, vibrant blood who has no respect to all this rubbish of a thing to take over power in West African states. Not Buhari. Her sister, her birthday today is 84 years, her junior sister. And Buhari was celebrating 77 years old. All these things are things we should do away with. Let young blood come into this power and move our nation forward. God bless you. Remain blessed. And if you have not yet subscribed to Miro African TV, try to do so. Let us be one. If you don't understand what I'm saying, the French speaking side, you can also set it up on your, I think, YouTube. YouTube will help you to translate it in writing so that you will understand what I'm saying. Please, my people, do away with your celebration, throw it away, start asking questions. I'm watching a lot of bloggers, well-known bloggers, larger bloggers celebrating these things. I am not happy with you people. Use your platform to ask the real question and demand the real answer. God bless you, and Happy New Year in advance. And I pray that by next year we will do more better, and I will be punctual in doing videos like this. Subscribe and click that little bell button, and whenever we come live, you will be notified that I'm live. You may be asking, what is that small complimentary card on top of that place? Wherever you are living on planet Earth, you can use that platform to send money to your loved ones back home. All you need to do is use your phone, scan that code that you are seeing over there, and it will get you into the system. You will just register everything, and they will create an Euro account for you. And if you need a prepaid credit card, they will also hand it over to you. And the credit card, whenever you fill that credit card and travel to Africa, if you are short of money, you may use the credit card to pull money from any bank in Africa, and it will also be calculated as money being sent from Europe to Africa without extra charges. Thank you, remain blessed, and bye bye for now. Love you all. I am your presenter, Zebedi Ejike Korea, from Nigeria. Bye bye for now.